And we are live. What is going on, everyone? It's your boy Johnny Dunn, and we are back with another one. Today, epic VeVe live stream. Today, we only have one drop, but it is another blind box comic book drop today. Now, I think this is another great opportunity to practice your drop technique. You know, if you're spamming away or if you're trying to time it these days, this is another great opportunity to practice before we have our big drop this Saturday. So shout out to the live chat joining today. We got KCBMW in the live chat first. Let's see if I get it today first in. Yeah, let's see if that's actually a possibility. A lot of times the first person in the live chat has been getting the drop somehow. We got Just Let in the building. Shout out to everybody joining today. I'm going to go over the details of this comic book drop. Again, we have 5 different rarities. We got common through the secret rare. Your typical 30,000 total edition run today. We have 21,000 editions for the common. We have 5,000 editions for the uncommon, 2,350 for the rare, 1,050 for the ultra rare, and 600 for the secret rare today. Shout out to anybody who lands one of those. Again, my strategy for this drop today, I will be trying to time it again, trying to go for 3 in a row. I don't think I've ever gone 3 in a row with drops successfully on VeVe. I feel like it's almost impossible. Now, a lot of times people see me going hot streaks, go almost like 50, sometimes like 80%, 70% sometimes, like out of 10 drops. But I can't seem to get 3 in a row. So hopefully, maybe I don't want to go 3 in a row because then it'll be almost impossible to get 4 in a row on the James Bond drop. So again, I'm just going to try to time it perfectly on this one. If I'm a little too early, I won't really worry about it. I'm just going to try to make sure I'm on point for Saturday's drop. Now I'm going to go over the details of what these comics look like today. All these covers. We have the common cover today. Pretty cool looking. This is the first appearance of Bishop in Xmen. Now, for me, my strategy going into this drop, if I get a secret rare or ultra rare, personally, I will try to flip this one. For me, I think it could be a good spec book, possibly. He probably will show up in the MCU eventually at some point if Marvel's releasing them right now. I think they're releasing everything strategically. But again, I think there's other comic books, other collectibles that you could probably focus on that'll probably do better long term. But again, I think for anyone who's trying to collect all the comics, these covers look pretty cool. That's a secret rare. I'm a big fan of this ultra rare here. We got the long hair vibes. I should have let my hair down on this one. We got I think this is the rare right here, the black and white. The uncommon. Uncommon's probably my least favorite out of this one. The common looks pretty cool. The rare is pretty cool. Black and white outline of them. Probably ultra rare is my favorite out of this bunch. I do like the secret rare. I would say ultra rare is my favorite. I don't love the covers on this one. I don't hate the covers either. How we doing, chat? Hope we all get dubs today. Hopefully, aka Bash. What's up? Morning fam. Also, I want to do a little shout out real quick. Anybody who's tuning in today may notice the VeVe Moon Man up there. Shout out to Andrea. Andrea makes amazing, I would say, collectibles at this point. About to have her collectibles digitally in VeVe one day. If anyone wants any kind of, I think she has a 3D printer. So she makes a lot of these by herself, which is amazing. I think they look amazing. You can find her on Twitter. Drea's Paracosm Design Studio. Hopefully it'll focus up real quick. Yeah, there we go. Paracosm Design S. Definitely want to check her out. I mean, she makes amazing things. Anything you really want, I think she can probably customize it. And then here's her personal profile. Drea_Valeria. Go show some love to her. Amazing. I think it fits perfect. Now I'm officially a Moon Boy. Shout out to APB Bulldogs as well. My guy. Appreciate you, brother. Dang, I should have waited one more day to buy collectibles. Everything's so low. Absolutely. So it looks like the whole market kind of dipped right now. I think a few different reasons. I will go over the market prices just to touch on that. I don't want to just go over the market prices when everything's skyrocketing. Got to kind of touch on the times when it's dipping down too. I wouldn't be too worried about it long term. Nothing's really changed about the fundamentals about any of these collectibles or comics. I think right now there's a lot of different factors playing a part. Why the whole entire market's dipped. I mean, the stock market's dipped as well too. A lot of things. Austin Wofford. Hey, good morning, Johnny. Shout out to everybody joining today. Let's make the chat lit again. Let's go. And the light is on today too. That it is. I figured, you know what? For 3 in a row, I got to put the light on. I've been striking out 3 in a row. I can't seem to get it. So hopefully the light gives me some extra power today. Sam P, 2004. My friend sold his Golden Moments Iron Man for a 1.4K loss so he can go for the drop on Saturday. He's making a big mistake, I think. Yeah, Sam, I think you have the right idea. He could be a new user. And even if he's not a new user, I've seen, people with a lot of experience do the same thing as well. Now, to each his own, maybe it works out for him, and hopefully it does work for him for sure. Now, I would say, Sam, you're probably right on that. For anyone else thinking about doing the same, I would say, again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is just my opinions only. Now, for me, I don't really want to sell too many of my collectibles for a low right now, especially if I'm going to take a big loss like that, just because your chances of hitting a 500 edition collectible probably is really low. So I think there's a lot of people, that could be a huge reason why the market is dipping right now. People want the $1,000 gem in their balance. Now, we know you don't have to have those gems in your balance to go for the drop, but I don't think people want to take a chance with that, because we all know what happens sometimes if you don't have the gems and you go for the drop. You could exit out, you could get that error and end up missing the drop. So I think the market's dipping because people want to sell to have enough gems in their bank, in their gem wallet, I guess you could say, on the VeVe app. Also, with the whole tension across the whole world right now, I think that has an impact on the markets as well. Plus the fact that you need 1,000 gems in your bank account to initiate that cash out. People, I think, want to have that. So I think it's enticing a lot of people right now to sell. There's a lot of sell pressure in the market. There's not too much buy pressure. People are saving up for this James Bond drop finally. And so I think a few different reasons, because of all of them. And Sam, I would say most people are probably doing that right now. And what I think is going to happen is probably what's happened a lot of times in the past. A lot of times people sell for a loss to go for that expensive drop. They don't get the drop. They try to buy back those collectibles they just sold. And that's when the prices skyrocket, because that's everybody's game plan. So by the time you try to go back to buy the collectibles you just sold, those have risen now. So a lot of times we see, I'm not saying it's always going to work out this way, but a lot of times we see the people who just hold through the dips tend to be in a better situation. Now, I think it's all going to depend on your situation. If you need these gems for the next drop, I can completely understand. Me personally, I would probably try to wait, and I wouldn't really necessarily sell anything for too low or for a loss, just to have gems in the balance. If I didn't have the gems, I would still go for the drop and just hope that I did get it. And if I got it, then I would try to add the gems and hopefully it doesn't exit out, it doesn't crash. But I think at that point, it's probably better to do that as opposed to selling something for an extreme loss like that. Especially those golden moments. I think those golden moments are going to be big time. And like I've said before, I think the reason why it's just kind of dipped right now, because when you have thousands of people who hold that, it could be an important, iconic collectible. But because you have thousands of people who hold that, you just have that many people willing to take profits at a sooner point. I'm a big believer in those golden moments for sure. How long will it dip? How long will it dipping, you think? How long will it dip, you think? I think you mean to say. I think it's going to bounce back after this weekend. Now, it all depends what they drop after this James Bond, Aston Martin drop. Who knows? Sunday could be a big drop. Going into next month could be big. But I expect them to kind of maybe not cool out, but not have so many big time IP drops after this James Bond, after this weekend, I should say. Because we don't know Sunday's drop. Sunday could be an off day, or they could surprise us and still have a big drop Sunday. They haven't said anything just yet, so I'm kind of on hold right now. But I think no matter what happens, even if it is a big drop Sunday, if there's no drop Sunday and it's just the James Bond, Aston Martin drops, then I think after this weekend is probably when we see the market tend to rebound. But it's all going to depend what the next announcement is. Hopefully next week it is just kind of comics and there's no real big drops, because I think at that point it will give the market a lot of time to kind of breathe and bounce back. Johnny with the hat trick, calling Wayne Gretzky. I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping, Austin. But again, I really won't be disappointed, because then I'd have to go for 4 in a row to get the James Bond drop, which would be, I mean, I've never gone 3 in a row. So to get 4 in a row would be, I don't know. That would just be insane. What do you think of the James Bond card, the 300 gem one? That's probably the one that I'm going to be getting. If I can somehow land the 500 edition collectible in the drop, I'll be ecstatic, of course. I'll definitely keep that one. But I got a feeling that most of the people are probably going to only be able to go for the 300 gem one, maybe get that one in the secondary market. It definitely surprised me, them coming out with $1,000 retail point. Definitely was a surprise to me. The highest, I think, so far before this one, it was the $400 Secret Rare Spider-Man, Secret Rare Captain America. But I mean, it makes sense, though, in my opinion, because Aston Martin is one of the biggest luxury cars there are in the world. And there's not too many. I mean, that's a high-end car right there. Of course, there's Bentleys, there's Rolls Royces, but I mean, Aston Martin's up there big time. I believe Tom Brady could be sponsored by Aston Martin too. I think it was Tom Brady. He got to design a couple Aston Martins, I think. But yeah, it's a big time car right there, so it makes sense that it's pretty expensive. The edition count was wild. It makes me think, they're really trying to make sure that these are collectibles. Not too many people in the world can get an Aston Martin, so it makes sense that they're not going to have something that everybody in the world can get. Definitely makes sense to me. Willow Kid in the building. How we doing, fam? Now, one thing I was wondering, or I thought they might have been able to do, is make the blind box just with more editions. Maybe have like a common Aston Martin that's like a, that 1/16 size that's really small, and have just maybe 20,000 editions of those, and then incorporate that in with the 500 edition secret rares, the 7 secret rares. I felt like maybe they could have done that, but again, it probably has to do with the licensors too. They don't want to have something that everybody can get, like an Aston Martin, because it probably dilutes their brand a little bit. So again, it makes sense. And at the end of the day, the Comey team, they know what they're doing. So if they roll something out, I got trust, and that's probably the best decision. Got December. Hey, how we doing? How we doing, fam? Got the account back finally. Good to see that, Tariq. Hopefully everybody was able to help you out. Hey, man, what is your opinion on the Disney cards? Goofy down to 1.5K. I think this is an insane low price for this collectible. Yeah, I know. I'm eyeing them. You guys know I'm a big fan of those Disney cards right now. I'm trying to come up with a game plan myself right now, because I think there's so many opportunities in the entire market to where you're really just trying to pick and choose, which is going to have probably the highest return. And I like those Disney cards a lot. Donald Duck is down to 444. Woo! It's about half of what it was. A lot of these are about half of what they were. Mickey Mouse is 340. I'll kind of go in order here. I'll start with Mickey Mouse. 340 for Mickey Mouse. Minnie Mouse is 282. Oh my. That sounds like stacking numbers right there. Whew. I do believe even the two commons are going to hit 1,000 one day. 282. I mean, stacking up a good amount of those could be a great come up right there. Let's go to the uncommon. That's Donald Duck, like I just said. That's 444. Got Daisy Duck 279. We got Pluto 520. Finally, these are getting in my range. I may have to finish Series 1 here. 1.5K for the Goofy. Because again, we're going to see multiple series of the lenticular cards. We're going to see Series 2, Series 3, Series 4. And to have the first ever Disney lenticular cards, the first edition of these characters, I don't know. Sounds like an opportunity to me. Let's go over the golden moments real quick. Walt dipped big time, 25K. I even saw lower than this. I saw Walt go below 25K. And then I saw a few of them at 25K. So it looks like people are starting to pick them back up. I don't see the partner statue dipping too low below 25K. I think this could be a huge opportunity. It's almost half of what it was. So for anyone looking for a double up, I definitely see this going back up to 40-something K quickly. Well, that's Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse first appearance. That's huge. Let's go over the Black Panther real quick though before I touch on the rest of them, because that's the one that just dropped. The Secret Rare 1.6K. I'm actually glad to see this one going back up. I think this is a huge opportunity still for a lot of people. Anyone saw on the live stream when I got this one, people were asking me if I was going to sell it. I told you guys if I cared about every single dollar in this, like the smart, risky move. I guess not really risky. I said I should probably sell around 3K, buy it back at 1.5K. And it was at 1.4, 1.5K. So I definitely could have done that. But right now, I'm on a streak. I feel like I have, it sounds crazy to say, but I think it's definitely a possibility. I could potentially have the most originally owned collectibles in the entire world. Like, think about that. So once I said that to myself, I was like, you know what? I'm going after that goal. I am going to try to have that. So all these drops, especially these big time drops, like the secret rares and stuff like that, that I land on the drop, I'm really not trying to get rid of. Really wish I kept that Captain America that I got on the original on the drop, because that's one of the secret rares where I did get on the drop. I sold it, and then I ended up buying it back. But I was blessed with so many of these drops. That's something I am going to go after. Try to have one of the top people in the world to have the most original owned collectibles. That's gonna be wild to say once the transaction history becomes publicly available and you see, all these Todd Batmans be sold or have the ownership of like 30 different people below. And then you'll just see owners, Johnny Dunn. That's something I feel like is gonna be pretty wild to say in the future. Like Secret Rare Spider-Man, the Walt Disney. I'm not the original owner of that one, but any of you guys who got the partner statue on the drop, just imagine that. Not too many people in the entire world are going to be able to say you're the original owner of Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse, first appearance in digital format. That's going to be iconic. I did not get Walt on the drop. I only got one or two of those golden moments on the drop. JD, you going for the 007 drop? I am, December. Absolutely. I'm here just to watch you guys win. December, you got to go for it. You got to go for it. You got to go for it. Superman, Todd, Steamboat, Willie, extremely low. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me go over a couple of those. Todd's all the way down to 6.7K. This is a huge opportunity, I believe. Again, you guys probably see my Todd listed. I have my Todd listed. Let me see if I can find it. 10.5K. Again, I'm kind of risking it. I'm kind of playing with fire here. I don't suggest anybody to kind of play games and day trade with your big time collectibles. It's definitely risky to do. But sometimes I feel like I'm savvy enough to pull it off. Because with these big time collectibles, floors could get swept like that, and then your strategy could kind of go out the window. But if anyone's wondering what my strategy is with this, I have 1,000 mint Todd. So I do have it for sale, not around the floor, but a few $1,000s up, hoping someone buys it. And then if someone's to buy it for 10K, 10.5K, I would just buy back the floor around that 6.77K range and just pocket a few thousand. Now, sounds all good and dandy in theory, but here's the downside to it. This is what could happen. By the time mine sells, the floor, maybe I'm not paying attention, the floor could have got swept all the way up to 9K. So then by the time I go back by the floor, I don't really pocket that much of a difference. So it would be kind of a waste. So it's always kind of risky to do that with any of your big time collectibles. So usually when I start the stream, I'll usually delist it. But right now I have it listed still, so I'm still paying attention to it. Nightwing's all the way down to 1.4K. Whoo, that's my baby right there. Shout out to all the people hodling their Nightwings right now. There's only 51 left in the market. So this tells me that I've listed my Nightwing a few times, but I've also delisted it so many times just because the price kept dipping. 1.7, that's getting to that line where I don't want to let it go any further than that. So I'm just hodling all three of mine still. I think after this dip, after this weekend, it could shoot back up to 2.5, 3K almost easily. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. We got Rizzo dipped a little bit down to 11K. It was at like 14K, so it's dipped a few thousand. FA Joker, 750. I think that's an opportunity for people. There's only 105 left of those. The supply is really not many left on a lot of these collectibles. Floors could get eaten up big time. Harley Quinn FA is 450. There's only 88 of them. Like, think about it. Think about that. There's 7,500 FA Harley Quinns total, 7,500 total FA Jokers. There's only 105 for sale Jokers left. There's only 88 FA Harley Quinns left for sale. So the supply on a lot of these is definitely dipping down. 51 Nightwings, 34 Amanda Connor Batman's at $9.94. These two I think are going to be big time. First edition collectibles, Becky Batman, 1.3K. Joe M Batman, 850, just dip below. Both of those I think are opportunities. Becky's pretty low right now. There's only 64 left of Becky's in the market. Who's got gems for Sat? Let's go. Dino, appreciate you big time. Let's get some eggs in the chat. Let's go. Transport the bots around. This could be like another bot trap too. You never know. I think it's a good idea they mix it up. Have some. This is what I've always said in the future. A lot of people have been kind of questioning, why VeVe's gone back to super limited drops after they said they kind of want to expand, have more in store basically. But I think they're going to have a mix of both. 1 week, one drop, they could have something like this that they're doing on Saturday. There's only 500 total editions. Then the 7 editions is one kind of drop. How much is how many editions? Let's see, for the Aston Martin, the one that's $300. Let me go over the details of this. I think there's only 2,000 something maybe. Yeah, so 2,507 for the $307 Aston Martin. So that gives a little bit more of a chance for people. But again, we're going to have super limited drops like that one day. The next day, maybe Sunday is a huge drop where there's 50,000 editions for a collectible. So in the future, in the next few months, that's kind of how I see them doing it. One day they're going to have a super limited drop. Next day they're going to have a little bit more. Next day even more. Maybe it's a huge drop, 80,000. So I don't think every single drop is going to be the same. Miss Rose in the building. We need Miss Rose. We need December. We need Robbie Remington if he's in the building to hit. We need a few people to hit. Yeah, we win it today. Absolutely. Miss Rose, dollar cost average back into Pluto. Let's see. What's Pluto at right now? I think it's an opportunity. It's definitely dip. I did go over these cards, but I forget what Pluto was. Yeah, Pluto's dipped to 520. I don't see Pluto, the ultra rare, staying down that low for too long. OG Walt owner here. Let's go. Yeah, facts. Willow, that's going to be big time, man. There's not too many people in the entire world that are going to be able to say they own a Walt Disney, especially in the future when this really gets mainstream adopted another year. If you hodl that for another year, my man, you got to think of how many times Walt's going to be passed between so many different people, resold. Same thing with Todd. Same thing with so many of these big time collectibles. That's why it's going to be iconic to say, like, it's going to have a list of owners, previous owners, and it's just going to have Willow Kid up there. That's going to be crazy, man. I do think that's going to play a part in resale value as well, too. I look at it almost like a new car. There's nothing wrong with having a used car, but it's owned by, maybe 10 different owners before you. New car, nobody's owned it. So you're the original owner. For me personally, I think I would pay a little bit more for a premium of a collectible if it was originally owned by one person. Maybe that one person's your favorite influencer or something like that. That's going to mean a lot more instead of owning a collectible that's been passed around. And there's nothing wrong with that either, because just to even have that collectible. But I think that separation is going to be a big deal in the future. Nice. A $200. Wow. Mint 500 in the 500. That's solid right there, C-Rios. I loaded gems, so I don't have to sell anything from Bonkar. If I miss, I'm going shopping. Solid. Awesome. You know what? This has kind of been my game plan too. This is kind of what I think I'm going to be doing, because that's how I feel. I don't want to be selling anything too low right now. And I think for me personally, that's just how I'm going to play it right now until I come up with a different strategy. I think I'm just going to add more gems in, add more money in. And then if I don't get it, grab some of the collectibles that I've been eyeing up. Now, that's one way to do it. I've been also thinking about maybe just stacking up on a lot of collectibles that are on extreme discount right now. Just hodl, wait for the dip to get over, let this thing skyrocket in the market, sell some off, and then go back and see if I can grab a James Bond card. Now, that's always another strategy that usually works out It's worked out a lot in the past. I'm an OG R2 owner. Only reason I didn't try to flip for a better man. Absolutely, dudes. I mean, original owner of the first ever Star Wars collectible in digital format. Like, what? Sounds insane when you think about it. And that's how I feel too with a lot of my mints that are kind of high. If I'm the original owner of it, it's a big debate right now. Would you rather have a high mint but be the original owner? Or would you rather be like the 10th owner but get a super low mint? I think it all depends on your mints. Say if you have a 1,000 or even like a 2,000 mint number and you're the original owner, I would rather have that probably. Unless you have the mint number 41 of something like that, unless that's extremely low. Thomas Conger in the building. Facts. Yeah, Robert, that's actually a good point. There's definitely going to be a few rebound opportunities for the Aston Martin. No doubt a few lucky winners aren't going to have the gems loaded. Knock on wood. Hopefully it's not me. Hopefully it's not any of you guys on the live right now. OG Wally owner. Anytime Wally always gets the short end of the stick of those golden moments. Wally and the pizza truck, I feel like. And I would say Wally even gets the short end of the stick just because the pizza truck's kind of like that Easter egg, shows up once every movie type thing. Wally's still a great collectible. I mean, any of those Disney golden moments, I believe, are going to be they're going to be unreachable for most people, for your average person, I think. Superman's dipped down to 2.9K. I got 2 Superman left. I've been thinking about letting go a duplicate. I really want some liquid, but again, this is Superman. This is the first appearance of Superman. I know, shout out to Ray Fixie out there. He gobbled up all the Superman, so it's kind of like he owns a bunch of them. But this is the first appearance of Superman. I truly believe that Superman's going to be iconic. It's a full set by itself. That's just like an extra bonus. I mean, Superman, it's so hard for me to let go at only 3K just because I truly believe in what that collectible could be. All together now, the Ultra Rares dipped even, 3.4K. Again, I think this is such an opportunity for a lot of people. This is Series 1 of the Mickey Mouse NFT collection. Ooh, that's big time right there. I may even think about trying to get another one of these. This is because I see this one rebounding big time too. There's only 242 of these for sale in the market available. And there's a total of 6,928 of these. So it just goes to show you that how many people are actually hodling. Like, look at Superman, 190 available total for sale, and there's 8,888 of them. So I just feel like just the floor prices, that's not the only thing to look at. Definitely look at how much supply is left because it should tell you how many people are hodling that collectible. Got 380 gems. What you recommend? I'm thinking of FA Black Panther. Black Panther is an interesting one because the Ultra Rare is extremely low right now. That's still one I have to get. And I've been thinking about getting one right now because I do want to complete that set, considering I got lucky with that Secret Rare. Ultra Rare is at 389. It's going up a little bit. I don't think that's a bad idea to grab a Ultra Rare Black Panther. Secret Rare is moving up. I see the Secret Rare being a few thousand easily. I mean, this is Secret Rare first appearance of Black Panther. That's going to be big. Gobbled up a couple commons. It was interesting because they made the Secret Rare 2,800 editions for this one. I think it's a mix of the popularity of this character. This is a top 10 superhero. I mean, it's huge. And the fact that we have more and more people now, I think that's another reason why they wanted to do that. There's so many opportunities. Like, I wanted to get another second Secret Rare Black Panther. I think Ultra Rare is a steal right now. Are you going for the Aston? Definitely going for the Aston Martin. I'm going to go for both of them, both days, or the same day, but both drops. I'm going to go for the 300 and what's the price point exactly? 307. I'm going for that one, and then I'm going for the $1,007 one too. I'm hoping to get both. Could you imagine that? I think I would not post that if I got it. They already said 1-on-1s are coming to the app. Absolutely. That's definitely gonna be coming to the app. I think that was off what I was saying about how they're gonna have all different types of drops. One day, Monday's drop, we could start out the week with a super size edition, I guess you would say. Maybe 100,000 editions for a common. And then Wednesday's drop, they lower it, maybe only 30,000 editions for that one. Friday's drop might go back to 10,000. Saturday, Sunday's huge drop might be 1-of-1, 1-of-100, 1-of-1,000. So I think they're just going to have drops, and they'll probably have multiple drops a day too in the future. So I just feel like they're going to have a mix of everything. They're not going to have just super limited drops in the future, and they're not going to have extreme sizes of editions because they still want to keep these collectibles. So just having a balance of everything. I think they're still testing things out, seeing what people want. Let's go, Willow. OG owners of Walt Gang. Wow, Kelvin, you're OG owner too of Walt. Oh my god, you guys are killing it. That's gonna be so big time. Spider-Man 2099 is at 1.1K. That sounds like a steal to me. Like, there's just so many steals. It's almost like, close your eyes and throw a dart and see which one you land on. Not financial advice. Definitely don't do that. But just as an example, there's so many opportunities out there right now. I think the only way you can really lose on these opportunities is if you freak out and panic sell your whole entire collection right now. Let's see. Where is the prices? Why can't I find the prices of the Marvel Mighties? Oh, because it's closed. That's why. Dang it. 1.1K though. Sounds like a steal for those Marvel Mighties. VeVe exclusive license. They'll never show up anywhere else. Starting the stake, probably stack common steamboats. I think that's such a great idea right there. Great pickups and great strategy right there. Steamboats, part of Mickey Mouse's first appearance in the real world. This is just iconic. Anytime you have part of history, I think it's a safe play. OG owner of Ultra Rare Steamboat. That's another big one right there. Your Walt Disney's, your Mickey Mouse, Ultra Rare, any of those rarities really, but Ultra Rare is just like icing on the cake. Yeah, any of those big time, like Secret Rare Spider-Man, even Todd, OG owner of Todd's. That's gonna be a big one. Just your big time collectibles. And that's not taking anything away, I think, of non-OG owners of those collectibles. But I think it's just gonna give a boost to those OG owners, if that makes sense. Let's go. Yeah, absolutely. Great cop right there. Definitely a steal. I think that'll do well. It's the first ever DreamWorks. So I think that will do well. Have a red OG bunny owned by JD. Hey, I hope the OG bunnies by Tristan Ian do well. I think they will too. I'm hodling on to, let's see. Oh, I can't see it. Market's closed. I always forget about that. Let me show you my OG Devil Bunny. How to get a Dunny. And what's crazy about the Dunny too is I got that on the drop. The only decon drop. So you have Rich J. I think you actually have the one I probably got on the drop. So you have an original own Johnny Dunn. Let's go. Shout out to Rich J. This is the one that I swapped it for, essentially. When I saw this in the market for under $1,000, I think it was like $700. Let's go. Edition number 43. That's probably my lowest edition number. And I think I have another one in the 40s. So that's kind of my hedge play. A lot of you guys know I've sold a lot of my artist collectibles. And shout out to all the artists on VeVe, like Frank Kozik, Jermaine Rogers, Ron English. I'm big fans of those guys now. Just didn't have the money to be able to keep those sets and go after the ones that I really, really loved. So unfortunately, I had to get rid of a lot of those artist collectibles. But because of that reason, I wanted to kind of hedge my play there. And so that's my play right there. I have a 43 edition Tristan Eaton collectible. So I feel like when these artist collectibles do have their time, because I think they will have their time, especially being the first ones interoperable with IMX, being able to send these to your Immutable X wallet, sell them for ETH, OMI, whatever the case is. I think that's when they'll really have their day. And so that's kind of my hedge play. I'm just keeping one of those for when that time comes. Hopefully make a little come up there. The Palace in the building. Jerry, how we doing, fam? I know this is what everybody's worried about, Austin. Absolutely. Imagine getting buy now screen on the secret rare bond card. 500 editions and having to load 500 gems 2 times and then glitching out and buy now goes away. I know, man. That's what everybody's scared about. That's kind of what I'm scared about happening to if I take that risk. You never know, a card can get declined or whatever the case may be. You're trying to switch cards, run out of time. Like, oh my gosh. I feel like there's a lot of things that could go wrong there. So that is why I'm going to try to just add the gems beforehand. And like you said, you know, if you don't get it, which we probably won't, but I'm going to knock on wood because you never know. VeVe gods. Never know what can happen. So like you said, if you don't get it, you know, pick up some things before they skyrocket. But again, I think that's everybody's game plan. Not everybody, but a lot of people's game plan. So that's also another reason why I expect the market to pick up big time. Because a lot of people are going to have gems at that point. And anybody who's selling things in the market for kind of a low, but at least, you know, selling some big ones, like we've seen Walt dip down to 25K. All those people that made those sales, you know, shout out to you guys for making some profits. They're going to have 25K gems now. It's hard to hold on to those gems. Everybody knows that. So they're probably going to go shopping as well, too. And so when you have multiple new people, I guess you could say, you know, a handful, a bunch of big sales that just happen. Once that happens, the market tends to pump just because there's a lot more liquid now in the market. People have gems in their account ready to spend. Appreciate that big time. Sway collects. Those likes help out the channel grow big time. And they bless their chat. For some reason, everybody who likes the videos always ends up doing well. Let's see. I've been eyeing the golden Iron Man. I don't have a golden moment. I might go pizza truck to save. Matt Gallagher. Shout out to you, brother. Yeah, I think just having one of those golden moments will be big. Iron Man's pretty low right now, dipped down. But like you said, you don't have any of them, so we might just go pizza truck to save. I think pizza truck's a good route. It's pretty cheap, I think. I don't know the exact price. I didn't go over all the golden moments today. I usually know every single price. I think the pizza truck, Wally might be right around 1.1K or around that 1K range. Lady and the Tramp is cheap right now, too. Great way to get in low. Why does VeVe snag some of the ultra rare before the drop? So, Steve Rios, great question. They don't just take the ultra rares. They actually take some of every single rarity. They take 40 collectibles or 40 comics, I should say, or however many the number is. I think it's always a different amount. I think comics, they take up to 500 sometimes. Let's see. Yep, so 500 comics. And that's why if you see down here, you could actually check this by going to, you're at the store tab at the bottom, click right here, scroll all the way down. Oh man, it just doesn't want to focus up. Anyway, at the very bottom, you can see additions. And it's going to say 29,500 out of 30,000 left. So they take 500. And again, that's the reason why I always talk about the Marvel Comics #1, because they take 500 of those. So there's actually way less 3-digit commons than people expect. People just expect there to be 9,000. FA Catwoman, what's your thoughts? She's under 200. Goodbye. I think FA Catwoman is a great collectible. FA Catwoman stayed at like retail price for the longest time. Same with Batgirl. Both of them stayed really low for the longest time. And they're both big time characters. New movie coming out with Batman. She gets a lot of publicity in this movie. A lot of playing time. A lot of screen time, I guess you'd say. Did anything happen for the market to dip that much? Verena Kruger, shout out to you for joining. Great question. I would say there's a few different things. The whole chaos, the whole situations around the world right now, that's definitely have an impact on all the markets, stock market, crypto market. Do you rather have Ultra Rare Pluto or Ultra Rare Black Panther? Oh, me personally, right now, probably the Ultra Rare Black Panther, only because me personally, I'm trying to get that whole set. But if I didn't have the Secret Rare, I would say probably Black Panther is probably more popular than Pluto. But I mean, it's Disney First Edition, but it's just a lenticular card compared to a collectible. That's a tough one, Miss Rose. We've seen how high Pluto got before. Pluto was up to like $1,000, $1,100. I think it will get back up there. Man, that's a tough one. I don't know the answer to this, Miss Rose. Would I rather have me personally? I would rather have the Black Panther, but again, I think I'm biased towards that just because I don't have the full set of the cards, and I have the Secret Rare Black Panther, so that would help me complete that set, and I'm trying to get that. But I don't think you have the Secret Rare Black Panther or the Secret Rare card, so I'm trying to put myself in your shoes here. That's a tough one. I'm going to think about that one. And Verena, like I said, just everything that's going on around the world right now, and plus, I think a lot of people are seeing the cash out. People know now that you have to have 1,000 gems in your account to initiate that cash out. So I think that has a factor. Plus, I think the James Bond drop. People are trying to go for this drop, selling things down just to have $1,000 in their account just to go for this drop. So it's almost like those two things at once. People need $1,000 for. Plus, with the whole chaos in the world right now, I feel like all three things at once are kind of hitting it. This is a tough one. That's difficult, Rose. Yeah, this is a tough question right here. You ain't playing around with these questions. That's a really tough one. There's another Uncanny Xmen that I think is pretty good. Michael Simone. Trying to find it here. I would definitely talk to Sleeping Comics, Comics and Crypto about the Xmen comics. Is it Xmen, Uncanny Xmen? I could be wrong on this, but I'm trying to bring up one of I think it's probably the most valuable X-Men comics on here. Uncanny X-Men number 4, I think it is. Yeah, I think this is probably one of the more valuable X-Men collectibles. I believe it's Uncanny X-Men number 4. I think that's a pretty solid one. But again, I'm not the comic expert, so I would definitely tune into those comic experts that have definitely more knowledge, more experience than I do. Let's see, we got about 15 minutes left for the drop. Yep, 15 minutes, 43 seconds. Or go. Good morning. Good morning. What would you consider blue chips in the superhero line? Good long-term buyout? So just overall, what would I consider the blue chips on VeVe right now? Superheroes? I just saw a list of like the top 10 most popular superheroes, and VeVe has almost every single one besides the Hulk and Wolverine so far. I was like, wow, we literally have all of them on the VeVe app already. Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. Those are like the big three right there, right off the bat. I would say Black Panther's up there too. I'm pretty sure Black Panther's like probably 7 on the list right now. It's pretty popular. Let me see if I can bring up a list. World's most popular superheroes. mean, Spider-Man's up there, absolutely. I'm gonna go. I can't find a list right off the bat. That's like a 1 through. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Iron Man's up there. The Flash is up there. Wonder Woman. I would say both Wonder Womans. I feel like are slept on because Wonder Woman is a huge, iconic, popular superhero. The FA, even though that's like the kid version, still at the end of the day, that's the first appearance of Wonder Woman. I think both are going to do amazing just because the second one looks great too, even though that's not the first appearance. First appearance to me is like a safety net, long term, meaning like a couple of years from now. I'm sure there's going to be more Wonder Woman that look amazing. But what's going to separate a lot of those apart is that FA tag. Deadpool is another popular superhero. I think for Deadpool, it's an older generation superhero, meaning like more so the older generation is more fans of it than the younger generation. Captain America's up there too. Hit that like, bless the chat. Appreciate that. I would say the 3 blue chips right off the bat: Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. I think the Captain America Secret Rare that does not have the FA tag, I would say that's on the borderline up there. Now, I do have that one. I have the full set for disclosure. But again, that to me is almost like one of the exceptions, almost like Steamboat Willie not having the FA tag. Steamboat Willie, I don't think needs that FA tag to have value. I think long term, that's a given. It's a safe play right there. It's one of the exceptions, I think. And same with that Secret Rare Captain America. I think only 1,000 editions is going to be, for a $400 retail collectible, like that's going to be big time right there. I think the animation looks amazing. Captain America is one of the most popular superheroes. What are your thoughts on the $1,007 007 drop? Frown face. I think it's expensive, Jabe, for sure. Now, I was definitely surprised when I first saw this. It did get taken back. I was like, whoa, that's expensive. But I think it makes sense, though, because you got to think Aston Martin's like one of the, if you don't know, I think that's the problem right now. A lot of people are not familiar with this brand, which is one of the high-end luxury cars there are in the world. I would say there's only probably a few that would rank maybe a little bit above that. Obviously, I think more people know about Bentley, Rolls-Royce. But Aston Martin, I think, is like right there. So this is going to be a big-time collectible. I think that's the reason why the brand probably wanted to make sure that it's limited so it didn't dilute their brand. When I saw this, shout out to Kelvin who made that. I was like, wow, just put me in there. I don't care what mid number, just one of the 7. I'd be blown away. I'm hoping I at least have a chance at it and I don't press too early. We got Adonis comment. Morning, Getsy. Morning, Kelvin. Morning, brother. Green Goblin is another steal. That's another. That's not a superhero. That's a big time villain right there. Yeah, Green Goblin's another big one. I didn't see what the price is, but that seems really low. Wow, Getsy's an OG Walt owner too. That's gonna be big time. Gang's all here. Shout out to Dino Lang. Excuse me. Yep. Do you think drops every day will suppress the collectibles from ever having time to mature? This is a great question right here, Justin B. I appreciate this question. This is kind of what's gotten people a little bit worried, just because they feel like having so many drops could, like you said, kind of suppress the market a little bit. We've seen in the past, anytime that they've gone a few days or a few weeks without big drops, that's usually what gives the market time to breathe, time to pump. Because I think what the problem is, a lot of people are just kind of out of money right now. Also, what's going to happen too, Justin, is we're going to have the web app soon, hashtag soon, in the next couple of weeks, I would say. Maybe in the next month or two, whatever the case is. But when that web app is available, that's going to allow so much more big money to flow in. They won't have a restriction of 500 gems at a time. And also, people are going to be able to convert their ETH to OMI. and then buy collectibles with Omi. So maybe in the short term it could suppress the market, but I don't think they're gonna have. I don't think they will overdo it because of that reason. I think they would wait until a lot of things are in place before they ramp it up to having multiple drops a day, 5 drops a week type thing. I think they would wait until a lot more things are in place for that to happen. Because you are kind of right, Justin. If they did do that right away, next week they start having 5 drops a week. I mean, that would probably suppress the market for sure. I have the video and edition number to prove it. Wow, let's go. That's great. That is awesome. Okay, yeah. What's your cleanest looking mint? Great question. So I would have to say my Coca-Cola Snow Globe. It's a 777 mint. That's probably one of my favorite mints right there. And I had to get that just because I'm hoping one day that can just fit with my branding of Johnny Dunn 777 on Twitter. Get a Coca-Cola brand deal one day. I have another good mint too. I have a 789 Nightwing I got on the drop. That was my second one. I think the first one I got was a 747 because that was back when they did it in order of the mints. Meaning, like, if you're a first person, you were going to get the lowest mint. Let's see. What other clean mints do I have? Most of the golden moments, I don't really have good mints or low mints. The lowest mint I have is a 623, which is a great one. That's on the Barton Homer. I was happy about that. I think I paid $200 for this one. Yeah, I paid $200 for that. Crazy. That was when the floor was like $70. I just scrolled down. I was trying to buy any collectible. I just found a 3-digit, clicked it, and bought it. I have a 458 Batman vs. Killer Croc. I have a 288 Harley Quinn FA. 559 FA Joker, a 433 FA Penguin, 634 FE Becky, 615 FE Joe M. I have some good low mints there that I'm the original owner of too for the Batman, but no clean ones really. Yeah, my cleanest is probably 777 Coca-Cola. I like my stamp mints though. I have all similar numbers for the stamps. Sub 1000 stamp for the Day of the Dead first edition stamps. I have ultra rare 990, rare 998, uncommon 688, common 899. So kind of like a clean set there. I wish they were all the same. That'd be awesome. Yeah, so no real like clean mints, but some pretty solid 3-digit ones that I got on the drop that I'm so happy about. Like those probably mean the most to me, to be honest. Some of my most meaningful collectibles, like obviously the Todd, the Nightwing, like that whole first set, or I should say like the first few series of Batman, just because the memories will never ever leave me. Like this is how early I was. Like these 3-digit collectibles are what I originally bought from the store. So 288 Harley Quinn, 559 FA Joker, 433 Penguin. Like anytime I think about those mints buying from the store, I just think about the feeling of like it puts me in like a time capsule and takes me back in time buying those collectibles when I really didn't understand what I was really buying. It just felt red hot. It felt like opportunity. It felt like I found gold without knowing like what gold was. Like it was just a crazy feeling. I really wish I could have just vlogged all the days from like March 1st to March 21st. Unbelievable. Like pacing back in front of my like all throughout my house. Like, oh my gosh, this is like, what is this? Yes, Austin Woford. This is actually a great question. 5 minutes to the drop. Do you see VeVe doing any shock drops similar to those that happen in sneaker scenes? See, I'm not familiar with the sneaker scene that much. Shout out to Fran Elations if he's tuned in today. He definitely would be. Where they just push a notification and it's first come, first serve situation. Yes. So they've kind of tested with this situation, Austin. Some secret rares have been that way, like Lucky from Jermaine Rogers, that gold rabbit, gold choice rabbits, I believe it's called, really. That was basically how that was. Nobody really knew about it until 10 minutes before. They just put a timer on the VeVe app, 10 minutes to go, or 5 minutes to go, something like that. And then anyone who was on the VeVe app would see that and be like, oh my gosh, there's a hidden drop or a secret drop. And that's why it was a secret rare at the time. Blessing time. So yeah, Austin, I do see them kind of doing that again, but there's a lot of backlash from the community. Like, you didn't tell us it was dropping. And I was like, yeah, it was a secret rare. It's a secret drop. You weren't really supposed to know. So, but now that we've gotten kind of accustomed to having so many secret rares, I think it may just piss off a lot of the people in the community. Let's go. Dave Nelson, Buenos dias, Johnny. Do you think the Bond Ultra at 300 is worth it? Might only be 400 or so. I think it will be worth it, to be honest. Now, maybe it starts out at 400 bucks right away in the market. I think it all will depend on how it gets distributed, meaning a lot of it's coming down to nowadays on how the market opens up. If the market opens up when everybody has their collectible, usually it starts out low and kind of works its way up because everybody puts it in there at the same time. What we've seen most of the time, though, is the market will open before most people even get their collectible. And when this happens, we'll see the first, maybe there's like 3 in the market. It starts at a high, and then as more and more people get theirs distributed, they put it in the market, brings that price down, hits the floor, and then if it's a valuable collectible, popular collectible, it'll work its way back up. If it comes out and it's only about 400 bucks in the market, you can bet people are going to be stacking it. I'm going to be trying to get a couple because there's only 2,000 editions of this one. I believe there's 12,000 DeLoreans, ultra rares, and the floor was at like 1,000 for a pretty long time. Just maybe just under 1,000. Took a while to get there, but eventually it did get there. And once with the big user base that we got, 2 minutes and 35 seconds to the drop. This is an Aston Martin car to where, again, the DeLorean has a couple other things going for it. Season 1, first ever interactive, first ever vehicle. But again, being only 2,000 editions for an Aston Martin, this car is legendary. Like, this is a top tier luxury car. Imagine if we got Bentley or Rolls Royce. That's like the tier that this is in almost. So hopefully, just being a James Bond drop, people sleep on it. Because at the end of the day, this is a first edition Aston Martin. Imagine if we got a first edition Bentley, first edition Rolls Royce, and there was only a couple thousand of them. Woo! This is going to be a good opportunity today, right now, with this comic drop to test out your drop skills. A minute 50 left. Let's go. OG owner of Group Comet. Let's go, Jabe. It's the first one of the Guardian of the Galaxy, though. I'm sure there's going to be more. Hodl. You're wild. I'd go Black Panther over Pluto. I think it's probably a safer bet, Dubes. But I'm Marvel biased. It's hard to pass up a Disney first edition. It could be absolutely because of the MTL article. I think Pluto will do great, though, at the same time. I would hate for you to sell Pluto too cheap, though, Miss Rose. Yeah. Coffee Gators, it's time. 45 seconds left to the drop. Cheers, everybody. All right. I'm going to record. I'm going to back out, come back in. See, I felt like it just paused there on 35 seconds. This one feels right. See, sometimes I feel like it pauses. All right, I'm going to get to this chats in a little bit. 15 seconds. I will be doing a giveaway for the James Bond drop Saturday. I want that to be a big day. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Bye now. I think I got it. I got it. I just got 3 in a row. Oh my gosh. Wow. What? Now that time I felt like I had a heavy click. By the time I let go, I felt like it was gonna be too late. But I felt like I pressed it on point. Whew! I didn't think I was gonna get 3 in a row. I just got 3 in a row. Oh my gosh! Now I've the chance of me getting 4 in a row in the James Bond drop. Wow. $25,558. It feels like a secret rare. Let's go. Oh my gosh. Wow. Now it's saying sold out. It immediately says sold out there. Interesting. Wow. This is wild, guys. I really hope you guys got one today. All right, let's look at the replay. Holy cow. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Click. See, that looked late. Late gate. But it felt fast, like when I was doing it. So that to me feels like it does have to do, or it does have to depend on when you let go. Because I felt like I had a heavy click again, if that makes sense. And so by the time I let go of it, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, click. That pause made me feel like I wasn't gonna get it. Wow, let's go. It could just be another comment again, but holy cow. Shout out to you guys if you got it today. Unbelievable. Again, this is just probably a great drop to practice your timing. You know what? I thought about this when I said this. Great observation, John Babu. He said, I feel like Deadpool is more linked in the younger generation, if anything. He's not that old of a character. And Ryan Reynolds has more like mid-20s fans than anything. I said how he was more of like an older generation character. And the only reason why I said that is because I'm not really familiar with him. I knew people like Gary Vee were big fans of him. So that's what made me think that. But maybe you're right about this. Maybe I'm wrong. And maybe he is more of a younger generation fan. And maybe that's why he's not as popular yet, because we don't really see the younger generation on VeVe right now. My sniffles are starting to come back. Like an hour into it. Yep, an hour. So some reason, like 45 minutes into an hour of me talking down here. So maybe you're right about that, John Babu. Maybe it's just because the younger generation really isn't on VeVe yet. Maybe that's the reason. Yeah, Rick Ross. Yo, we got to bump that tomorrow. I may not be able to monetize the drop. Yeah, Deadpool seems to be some favorite superhero of a lot of people. So, Miss Rose, do you think it could be a younger generation more of a fan of Deadpool? Maybe that's why we don't really see popularity of Deadpool on VeVe right now. I know VeVe's talked about how they wanted to have a younger generation demographic on the VeVe app, but it's actually older than what people have thought it was going to be. So maybe that could be the reason why. Johnny Boy in the house. I'm JD, you're JB. Jennifer, no. Facts. Hopefully we lucked out today. People have been successful spamming. Gio, good luck, good luck, good luck. Let's go. Pasmanian in the building. All right. Let me get to these. I called it. Hat trick. You're right, Austin. You're right. No way. How'd you guys go get L's? What's happening? Best timing ever. Jabe, did you hit? Best timing ever. Palace. Jerry got one. Let's go, Jerry. Let's go. I can't believe I hit. L with perfect timing. Jerry, did you spam today? I'm gonna find out because a lot of people took L's today. Today is completely different than yesterday. I feel like yesterday's percentage was probably like 70-80%. Today feels like 10%. 3P, Lil Wayne voice. Yeah, facts. Yeah, shout out to the dude who said you only miss comics. Yeah, shout out to the guy who said I only hit big drops. I'm out. Paz, I appreciate you for tuning in. If your buy now button's still there, go for rebounds. You definitely probably just missed the 4 minute, but got the 8 minute coming soon. Wow, your screen went blank, went black after spamming. See, Austin, I feel like you could get like you could trigger the third party thinking you're a bot if you're spamming. I don't know if that's the case or not. I was just kind of always worried for that to happen. But if that's the case, I mean, I don't think anything will happen to your account as long as you're really not botting. I think they'll be able to tell. So you'll probably get it back if that's the case. Or you just open the app back up and it's back working. Definitely try for the rebounds, man. And it may feel like impossible. I think you have to click like a split second before every 4 minutes. So probably any second now. I'm not sure. But I would bring up a world clock. Excuse me. So that way you can see. Come on, go for the rebound. Should be like any second now. It's 11:07 where I'm at. And my stomach makes crazy noises all the time. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that or not. It's probably from all the coffee I've been drinking. Johnny Rhythm Fingers. Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe that's why Gary likes him. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Deadpool curses? I didn't know that. That's interesting for a superhero. You need to drink more water. Maybe that's the case. Maybe I'm just really dehydrated. I feel like I do drink a decent amount of water though, especially recently. I've been doing pretty good with drinking water. I used to just carry around gallons of water with me during college. I can't get back to that these days, probably because I'm not as active, to be honest. It's so hard for me to drink gallons of water now. And I think it's because I'm not as active. In college, around my classes, I used to just carry a jug, a gallon of water and down that thing pretty quickly. But nowadays, if I get gallons of water, it just will sit there. I got to be more active for sure. Oh, I know, right? Everybody who's been a James Bond fan has definitely been itching for an Aston Martin drop, and then they drop it, and there's only 500. No, I think the 2000 edition, 2500 edition, will be pretty iconic. I definitely see that hitting 1,000. If the DeLorean hit 1,000, I'm gonna try to stack up on that one. If I get lucky with the 500 edition one, congrats to me if I get lucky or anybody else who gets lucky. But I think that could come out in the market easily over 10K. I think that's going to be probably 15 to 20 maybe. Mine was dead, dead quicker than yours, Johnny. That's what I'm saying. I felt like watching mine is going to throw people off because it looks slow. It looks like I saw buy now and then I clicked it. But I think that's because, all right, if you watch, what was it, the Black Panther? If you watch the close up on the replay, I even tweeted it out. So if anyone's on Twitter can watch that replay. I slowed it down to 0.25, or just watch the YouTube video and slow it down to 0.25, and watch how light and quick my thumb reaction is. It's honestly insane. Even when I slow it down to 0.25, it's still quick. But I think what the difference between that one and these is I had a light quick. These I feel like I'm pressing down hard. And when I do it hard, it's long. So let's look at the replay of this one. I know it sounds crazy to people, how in-depth this is, but Like when I did the drop, it felt quick. But if you look at it, it looks kind of slow. And again, I think that's because I had like a long press. So I'm releasing it late almost. So I don't know what it is. If it matters about how the first, like the press down or the release, I'm still unsure on that. I will probably, I didn't want to mess with the timing before a big drop like the Aston Martin drop on Saturday. But if there's a drop, say midweek next week, I'm going to probably play with it and see what happens if I just press down early, but don't let go until late. And if that works, that could be a little, a little sneak, get through even quicker maybe. But see, I don't know, because if as soon as you press down, it may come up with that error. And half the time the buy now button isn't even on there. Only half the time I feel like the buy now button's shown before. So I don't know. Wait, nobody else got the drop. I only saw one other person get the drop. Spam gave for Jerry. Okay, cool. So Jerry got in with spamming it. So I've only seen one. Jerry, were you the only other person to get a drop today? Yeah, Montage kills the rebounds. I haven't seen Montage hit. Oh, Montage hit on L4. You win today, JD? Spamming was a big L. I did hit today. Jerry won, though, today by spamming. Let's go, Jamie C. Okay, Jamie C got a rebound. He threatened your router. Miss Rose, another thing I did, too, that I feel like it's definitely probably helped. I mean, I was getting the drops before I did this, too. But I feel like it didn't hurt the problem. I contacted him because there was a point where I was about to buy a whole new computer. I went to Best Buy. I was looking at computers, and I was going to make a huge purchase of like a new computer. It's like $1,000, like at least. But it was really mainly for my streams. I wanted to get my streams going because every 5 seconds, sometimes how you see like it lags. He was doing that like every 5 seconds, and I thought it was my computer because I'm using like a little laptop. And so when I went to Best Buy, they said, you may not want to spend all this money on a new computer. It may not be your computer. I was like, really? I just have a small little laptop though. And they said, well, what's your internet like? And I was like, I don't really know. I think it's okay. And they said, well, you may want to just call your internet provider, whatever it is, and see what your internet connection is, and then upgrade it. And if that's still not working, then maybe look into a computer because that's going to be cheaper. And I was like, oh, wow, okay, that could be a better route than spending $1,000 right now. So that's what we did. We called my internet provider, and we asked them to upgrade it to a 1 full gig up and down. That's what the people at Best Buy told me to do. And so we did that. I think it cost like $10 more. So it wasn't that even more expensive. And that's helped out tremendously with my live streams. It still lags here and there, you guys can see. But for the most part, it lets me stream all the way through. And I think it's also helping my drops. So like I said, I don't think that's a complete factor in it because I was getting drops before that. But I feel like it's only helped the situation. So might want to upgrade the internet as well to a full gig up and down and see if that helps. But again, I would hate to say spend any kind of extra money when we go to the new drop system soon. But it was only $10 for me, so it could be worth it. Was it Donald Duck and Daisy? I feel like that could be a better play than the Batman versus Croc. Not financial advice. Batman versus Croc will be great because it's the first in color Batman. There will be more and more battle statues. That was just the first one. People are going to try to be master collectors of all the battle statues. But until we see battle statue number 2, number 3, I don't really see that Batman vs. Croc really picking up big time. When those golden moments, I think, are just kind of more so of a unicorn. I think any one of those golden moments are going to be big time. I got a new one. Doesn't seem to help much. This is kind of the only thing I've been worrying about. Miss Rose, DRM says got a new router, but it doesn't seem to help much. That's why I'm just so against telling people to go spend money on a new phone, new internet, new whatever the case is, because I don't know if that helps. I want to say yes, it doesn't hurt, but I've just seen so many people still strike out with new stuff. It's like I don't know what the Shout out to Taps. Taps just hit 3 in a row too. Let's go. Taps, if you're tuned in to live stream, are you spamming or have you been just timing it? Because Taps has been on fire recently. I want to know if he went back to the old way of spamming it ever since I kind of messed up his one drop. Let's go. Hat trick. Let's go. First ever 3 in a row. Not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing with the Aston Martin drop. Next drop. 4 in a row. Here we go. Man, I really want a drop badge. So Jerry's the only other person I saw hit today on the live. That's insane. Oh, interesting, Simone. Okay, interesting. The last 2 I spammed and got the drop. L this time spamming. Montage, no way. Montage is the king of rebounds, I swear. Shout out to you, Montage. Deadpool is rated R. I didn't know that. Wow, interesting. So we have the first ever rated R superhero on the app. Oh, I didn't think about it like that. I don't think it's sus. I think he's just yeah, he said nice kidding. I was gonna say I think he's just he's good at rebounds. He's got the timing down. Fastest fingers in the West. I'm on the East Coast, but I think you just meant in like the Western. Timing, Ethernet, and 3 devices trying. Wow, you grinding out there. I haven't even seen one Deadpool movie. I gotta start watching some Deadpool movies. Today's drop was a different game. Did feel different today. And the last drop felt different too. Yeah, exactly. Austin, like these drops for these comic books, like it's one of those things where if you get a common, it'd probably be like 10, 12 bucks. This one might be like a $15 one, but they're obviously not too expensive. It's just one of those things of actually winning. You know, it's like it just feels good to win. Wow, Ken Penguin 3 in a row. A lot of people hit 3 in a row. And nobody knows exactly how they get the flu. In this case, the drop. No, I mean, absolutely not to brag at all, James. I completely understand what you mean. Sometimes you do. You have quick timing, brother. Send me a DM of how your drop went today if you recorded it. Because there's been times where you definitely have been faster than me for sure. And that's the thing where I would say there's nothing else I can say except for just to keep trying that timing. The only other thing is maybe back out with like 40 to 30 seconds left. Because sometimes I feel like that timer can be off. Like today, the first time I backed out was like 35 seconds, I feel like. And I only did that because it felt like when I came back on the screen, I looked at the timer, felt like the 35 just stayed up there for too long. So who knows? Maybe I was right. Maybe I'm not right. And that was kind of just not even anything I really saw. Maybe it was just not a real thing. So I would say just keep timing right and maybe try backing out and coming back out. I feel like that can help. You just got to keep clicking through it, supposedly. Sway Collects, appreciate you big time. Yep, I'll see you guys tomorrow for sure. For sure. Hey, just purchased new gaming router. I got the fast internet here. Let's go, Miss Rose. I hope you hit. Really hope you hit. Your time will come. I have 1 gig internet, iPhone 13 Pro Max, $400 router, live on the East Coast. Doesn't seem to help anymore. See, this is the one I'm just so curious to find out more about. Like, it feels like location, being on the East Coast, having the best phone, having the best router, you have a 1 gig internet. You would think that would help because everybody, that lives in a different country, they say they're coming to my town. And like, I welcome everybody because these are the stories that I hear, and it makes me question if it really does help. It feels like it has to help somewhat. But like, again, my buddy lives in the same town as me. He got the drop yesterday, but it was his first drop in a whole month. And then today, I think he missed 2. So it's like, you would think if location and all that mattered, he'd be killing on the drops. December. Appreciate you big time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. December Bitcoin, Miss Rose. You guys are going to be in for a big one. I know it. It's got to come sometime. Have you ever had the app say on the bottom of your screen your phone does not meet security requirements during a drop? I've never seen this before. I have 2 phones on the go. Yeah, Paul. So I've never gotten that on the actual drop, but it'll be randomly all the time. Not all the time, but I'll randomly get it sometimes to where it'll say like your phone does not meet security requirements. I'm not sure why that pops up because it'll be like random times for me once in a while. But I think it's probably just like some kind of glitch, or maybe they think I'm just a bot all day. I'm on the VeVe app too much. They say it's impossible for a human. I think it's just one of those things probably where you get like the same notification of there's a heavy load, there's too many people in the app. So I wouldn't really worry about it, Paul. I feel like a lot of people get that here, like sometimes here and there. Sometimes you just don't get a drop. I don't think it's because you're using 2 phones. I know a lot of people who do use multiple phones for their kids or their wife or whatever the case may be. I only use 1 phone and I still get it once in a while. So I would say I don't think it's because of that. Dudes, appreciate you big time. Have a good one, brother. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Wow, here it is. I was wondering. I was going through the chat. I was like, did I miss it? KCBMW first in the chat. Got a 4-minute rebound. Let's go. Wow. I was wondering if you got one on the drop. That's crazy. Well, what are we calling this gate? We got chat gate first in the chat. Live chat gate. Hey, Jay, appreciate you big time for tuning in today as well. Yeah, definitely. You should feel lucky when you get a montage. Anytime you get one, it feels great. Oh, okay. Next time. Yeah, next time. Kelvin grinding on these rebounds. Another rebound attempt just happened, I think. Rick the Ruler. Trying to find out from Taps if he went back to his original style of drops. Ever since I messed him up that one day, I still feel bad about that. trying to back out and then come back in. And I think the timer ran out on them. I was using two phones. One of my timers was off by 1 second. I couldn't fix it. Tried closing, opening, and restarted. Nothing worked. I hit on the one that wasn't behind. Wow. I'm having the chills right now. Ken Penguin. Great observation. And I swear it feels like the timer is off sometimes. And I really believe that's why a lot of people are not getting it. Now, I could be completely wrong, but this kind of backs up my theory of why backing out and coming back in feels like it's the right thing to do. Because I swear there's sometimes now I'm not looking at any kind of clock. I probably should. Like I should bring up a tab here on my desktop to have a world clock to kind of look at the timer to see if it's in line. I just go off feeling at this point, and I guess that's why the experience plays a part in why it helps. Because when I back out and come back in, I can get a feel for. Of course, I'm going to be wrong sometimes, but for the most part, I can get a feel if the timer feels like it's in sync and it's the right time. Today, it felt like it was a little bit lagged behind when I backed out, came back in. It felt like it's just lagged at the 35-second. And so that could be a huge reason because I went back, came back in, and then it felt like it was just going down in order. And I got it. There has been times where since I'm recording it, it shows the time in the top left of my phone. And on some of the drops that I didn't get, I'll go back and watch the film. And I've seen it turn 11 o'clock before the buy now pops up. That's another reason why I started going back and coming back in. Because I feel like that timer can be off slightly for whatever reason. JD, choose David Yu super chat and a live stream or Gary V subscribing to the channel. Oh, what? Man. Can I go both? Like, that's a hard one to choose right there, Dave. Or I said David. Would love a David Yu super chat. That'd be awesome in our live stream. Probably freak out. Gary V subbing. I would have to say, Gary V, you're not subbed to the channel yet. You're lagging behind, my man. That's a tough one, Kelvin. Well, there's over 1 million going for a drop, so not everybody gets them. Absolutely facts. And we don't know exactly how many people are going for the drops. We know there's 2 million active users monthly. So, I mean, cut that in half. There's probably about 1 million people going for the drops. That's another reason why I love winning, because even if it's not that valuable, it's just the fact that winning feels amazing. Chasing Sunday's heavy suspicion that not only is timing important, but that with such heavy congestion, some packets just don't make it. Meaning that it's truly random if your packets make it through at all for a dub. This is what I'm thinking. Like, this is why I feel like timing is important, but it's not the end all be all. Meaning, like, okay, for this one, there's 30,000 editions, right? Total. Probably just say, take even 1 million and cut it in half. Say there's 500,000 people going for this one, right? Say if there's, 50,000 people out of the 500,000 people that are pressing the buy now button, perfect timing, exactly how you're timing, exactly how I'm timing, boom, perfect. Well, there's only 30,000 editions. They can't all get sent out to 50,000 people. So probably whoever, it's like probably like a queue system in itself. Whoever's in there first, it randomly gets distributed to those people. So that's why if you're randomly in there first, drop after drop after drop, you may not get it on the first two. But if you're constantly in there, your chances increase consistently. And that's why I always say it's not going to guarantee you getting a collectible if you time it perfect. I could have timed it perfect today, tomorrow, I still strike out. The third one, I probably have a chance to get it if I still strike out. What makes me question that kind of, though, is how are people striking out for like 3 months in a row? That to me just makes me feel like their timers off for some reason, or they got to back out and come back in with like 45 seconds to adjust their timer. Because it's happened to me before where you stay on that screen for too long and then you don't close the app, but you just open up a different app. Maybe, 20 minutes goes by, you go back to the VeVe app, and on that timer screen, it's now just going down super, super fast. Well, eventually it's going to get in order, but I feel like if you back out and come back in, kind of resets it. I don't know. I just feel like we don't know the exact answer, so I've been just trying to do everything I possibly can to do what feels right almost, and I think that has a lot to do with it chasing Sundays. That's why I say it's just try to time it perfect, drop after drop after drop. It's hard though. Yeah, Gail John saying the timer's off slightly. I do think the timer is slightly off, not every time, but it's just off sometimes. So that's why I feel like refresh gate or whatever you want to call it, backing out and coming back in is what resets it. Now you can scroll up or scroll down, I should say, and kind of resets it, refreshes it. But I feel like having that going back out and come back in, you're playing with fire because the app could crash, whatever the case is, taps his timer completely sped up on him. So it's risky, but I feel like if you go back and come back in with like 45 seconds, you should be pretty good. Maybe do it a couple times today or yesterday. I only did it once and it felt right. Got it. Today, came back in. And this is again where the experience plays a part in because it felt like it was just running too low, like we're too lagging behind. Like when I backed out, came back in, it felt like 35 seconds on the timer stayed there for too long. So in my head and my body, I'm feeling like, okay, it's lagging behind a little bit. I probably would have missed. So I backed out, came back in, and it felt like it was just running down at the right time. So got to go with the U. Yeah, I would love to see David pop in. That would be amazing. Yes, Robert. Let's go. Started using your back out method 20 seconds before the drop and been 2 out of 4 in the last 4 drops. No doubt it helps. Today I was too anxious and tapped a split second early. Yeah, absolutely, Robert, and appreciate that feedback because that does happen with the timing mechanism. That's kind of like the downfall of it. You could time it off and you're wrong. You're off. You're probably not going to get it. You can, if you time it too early, you can kind of hurry up and tap it again. You probably won't get it, but I have gotten it a couple times that way. Just got lucky and somehow got in late and got it. I feel like that may only work as if maybe your timers are too fast. And then by the time you go and press it a second time, it's kind of about that. But it's very rare that happens. I have been backing out a little bit more than usual. I would say the last few weeks. And I think that's been a game changer. To me, that's what it feels like. Ooh, Billy, Iron Man or Panther Secret Rare for the long term. I have both at the moment. Thinking to buy one more. Woo! I mean, Iron Man Golden Moment. I don't think you can go wrong with that. I think Secret Rare Black Panther though could see it increase a little bit faster. And now it's going to be that's a debate because Iron Man probably has a lot less supply now in the market, meaning it's been there for a while. Black Panther Secret is probably going to have more supply, so it's going to take a little bit more money probably to move that Black Panther up. But because it's new, there's a lot of hype around it. First appearance of Black Panther, I expect that one to pump right after this market dips. Again, Iron Man Golden Moment, that first week, too, of the Golden Moments. I don't think you can go wrong with either of them. I would just lean slightly Secret Rare Black Panther right now. But long term, you're saying? Okay, long term. It'd be hard to pass up the Golden Moments then. Iron Man Golden Moments. Long term. I think in the short term, you can get away with it going Secret Rare Black Panther. Market open. Appreciate you guys for letting me know. I still didn't get mine delivered. Comments down to 980. There's 308 available in the market. There's 86 uncommons, $13. The rares, $35, 36 available. The ultra rare, there's 30 available, $100 is the floor. Secret rare, 16 available, already down at 350. I got mine delivered, and it's another common. It's another crazy high mint common. Just gonna hodl it. Yeah, floor's down to $8 right now, so it'd probably be retail. So just another drop success. Nothing too big this time. I can live with a common high mint. Have been blessed. So hopefully that gives me my luck still available for tomorrow. I got mint 1461 for 22 on marketplace of common. That one you may be able to get a little bit higher of a price just because it's a 1000 mint, Austin. Oh, okay. You're saying you bought it for 22. Okay, yeah. Solid. Trying to get a low mint where I can. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good price. I mean, I thought you were trying to say you're going to sell your 1000 mint. I was going to say I'd probably rather just hold on to it just because you probably won't get too much for it right now. Like $22 is probably more of a buying opportunity than a selling opportunity. Hey, Chasing Sundays. Appreciate that big time. Thanks for tuning in today. Gary V. I would love to have them both on the channel for sure. I think it'll probably happen eventually one day. Trying to get that 0.5 MCP boost. Yeah, I mean, MCP, we don't really know what's going to happen just now with it, but I think it will be an opportunity for a lot of people to get big drops in the future. Because you got to think how hard are drops to get these days, right? Pretty impossible. And if you can only zoom out a little bit further, a few months from now, a year from now, 6 months from now, drops to get your favorite collectible are going to be pretty hard to get. So being able to use your Master Collector Program points to buy some lottery tickets to increase your chances, definitely think that's going to be big time. I think it is top 5% of all the collectibles or comics, I should say. I'm not positive on that. It's something I will have to go over the details on again. It's been a little while now, but I think it is top 5%. And again, guys, for tomorrow's drop, I will be doing another giveaway. I think that's going to be a great time. I mean, tomorrow's drop is going to be huge. We have the early morning. I'm going to go over the details real quick of this while I have it up. I'm really excited about this James Bond drop. First ever luxury car. I think this is going to be a big one. So Saturday morning tomorrow. It is Friday, right? Yeah. So Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern time, 2,507 editions, $307. First edition, Aston Martin. This is going to be big. I think that's going to be a big one. I could see that easily being over $1,000. Then we have the Secret Rare later in the day, 3 p.m. Eastern time, 507 editions, blind box mixed in with the 7 edition Secret Rare. Again, blind box, both are $1,007. I will be going for both of them. I think anyone who lands them, congrats in advance. Yeah, you guys are going to be in for a big one. Can you explain Master Collector point system? Absolutely, Mr. Green. So I will be making another video soon of the latest version of the Master Collector program. And I started to make a little video before, but I realized I was going over not the first Master Collector program article, but it was the second one. And they came out with the third final one. So I will be going over that one. But in a nutshell, kind of a roundabout overview of what the Master Collector program, the point system. Basically, it has to do with the whole new drop system. We're moving away from how the drop is now, kind of a first come, first serve. And it's going to be a queue window system, like a waiting room, meaning we'll have a couple minutes, a 5-minute waiting room system. Maybe it's 10 minutes. But basically, from that countdown, 3, 2, 1, 0, it'll probably say enter room instead of buy now. And then you'll have that 5 to 10 minute waiting room window to get a randomly distributed collectible at that point. So I think that'll be a little bit more fair, random. And then the Master Collector program, that's going to come into play because you got to think your chances of getting a collectible at that point will be pretty hard to get because it's going to be randomly distributed between all those people in that waiting room. So in order to increase your chances, you're going to be able to buy lottery tickets with your Master Collector program points. Now, the program points haven't been given out to everybody just yet, but everything is retroactive. So all the points for your collectibles or all the collectibles, the sets, the comics that you have right now and have collected since the very beginning, you're going to be rewarded for all those sets, comics, collectibles, like I just said, when it initiates the program, when the program starts. So and the big thing about this program too is the points. Every 6 months, you're going to have to get new points. They go to 0 every 6 months. So it forces people to kind of use their points. So someone like me who's been here since last March, I'm going to have a lot of accumulated points for the first 6 months. And then for every drop, I'm going to be able to wager X amount of points for lottery tickets to hopefully increase my chances to get these drops. So that way, it's really going to reward collectors that way, help you get some big time drops in the future. And I'll just give an example. Say Pokemon, say we do get that. I want to use that example. I won't use that. Say something that we've already got announced, like Star Wars. Say Darth Vader. Say Darth Vader drops in May, right? It's a secret rare. Say there's only maybe 2,000 editions of this collectible, animated with the lightsaber. Unbelievable, right? A lot of people are going to go for it. Many won't get it. Say if we have the waiting room by then, there's probably going to be, say there's 1 million people in the waiting room. There's only going to be 2,000 people who get that collectible randomly distributed when the time goes up. It's going to be a little bit more fair. It won't be first come, first served by now, but your chances will be really hard to get. So in order to increase those chances, you could wager, say, thousands of Master Collector Program points to buy that many lottery tickets to increase your chances. That way, those people who do, have a big portion of points, I guess you could say, have a lot of points accumulated, their chances will be a lot higher. So I think Master Collector Program points are going to be a big deal in the future. So that kind of explains it in a roundabout overview. Hopefully that kind of helps, Mr. Green. And there's an article on it too, so you can definitely find articles explaining the details, how many points you get for each collectible. For sets, for example, you'll get daily accumulated points for sets. If you have a 1 collectible set, I believe you'll get 1 extra point each day. If you have a 5 collectible set, you'll get 5 points each day. So definitely think it'll be a big thing in the future. I would say, I don't know how smart it would be to sell some of your Holy Grail collectibles just to increase your amount of points. The points are kind of like a bonus for everything that you're collecting. So I think a good, healthy balance of both would be a solid way to go. All right, guys, I'm going to be signing out today. Amazing live stream. Appreciate everybody who's tuned in today. All the likes, all the comments helps out big time. Congrats to anybody who locked in a collectible today, a comic, able to have another day of practice. I think Jerry, Montage, a couple other people hit on the rebounds, but most people, it seems like today we did not do too well on the drop. So hopefully, fingers crossed, chat dominates the Aston Martin, the James Bond drop tomorrow. And if not, hopefully the market kind of bounces back. I think it will kind of have time for the market to breathe a little bit. Austin was right, called the hat trick. Unbelievable. Can't believe it actually happened. Appreciate everybody who tuned in today. Hopefully we have a lit chat tomorrow as well. But I'm signing out. I will be doing a giveaway, so don't forget about that tomorrow. I think that'll add some fun to it. But I'm going to be signing out. Appreciate you guys big time. It's your boy, Johnny Dunn. We out, fam.